What will your marginal decade look like? This is a term Dr. Peter Attia uses to describe the last decade of your life. And what do you want that last decade to look like for you? I often call this planning for your future self. And what do you want your future selves life to be like? And how are you preparing for that today? So I did this very seriously when I first started intermittent fasting and I first went into menopause because I had so many things going wrong with me individually as a person, health wise. And I didn't want to keep going down that route. And I knew that I did not want to be the fragile little old lady who was pushed in her wheelchair to the corner of a room to look outside of a window with an Afghan over her lap, drooling all over herself. That is not the vision I have for my future self. And so the decisions that I'm making today at almost 59 years old are really to help me get to the future self that I really want to see myself as, or as Dr. Peter Attia calls it, how do you want to live out your marginal decade? So today we're going to continue to talk about exercise and the importance of exercise for us as postmenopausal women, women in general, depending on what season you are in. The last two videos I did about exercise and is your exercise keeping you fat? And the other video I did was how to be able to measure your exercise to see if you're utilizing your energy stores appropriately for your goals. So I will link those videos down below as well. But today I want to talk to you on a more personal level, like girlfriend to girlfriend, about what you're actually doing in that fitness arena or your physical ability arena to ensure that you will have a very happy and healthy long life. Now, I know exercise can be that thing that is a pain point for a lot of people. Maybe you've had some bad experiences with it in the past, or you simply don't enjoy it. And I understand all of that. But the truth is, we do need to keep our body physically fit in order to stay physically present in our life today and for our future self. I want you to Google the mortality rate for postmenopausal women post hip fracture. And the statistics are startling. Like if you fall down and break your hip, most women, when they reach a certain age, will never go back to the full function of their life. So if we remove the aesthetics, like burning fat and utilizing fat for energy and how we're looking on the outside, and we get really serious about what is it we want our life to look like physically, how we physically, mobility wise show up for ourselves, then I think we're going to start to be able to take seriously the importance of exercise or fitness in our overall life and well-being. There's certain things that are recommended that, we do to be able to make sure that, we are staying physically active in our life. And I do believe, as an intermittent fasting coach for the past almost 10 years, that intermittent fasting does make a huge difference in how you feel showing up physically, because you are just going to have more energy. You're going to understand your energy demands. You are going to just feel more optimistic because intermittent fasting gives you all of those gifts. This is why I really encourage the trifecta to aging successfully to our community: the fasting long enough to get the goals that you say that you want for yourself, the feasting well enough to get the goals that you say that you want for yourself, and then the training smart enough for you so you get what it is you want for that future version of yourself and how you visualize her showing up, or the marginal decade of your life. So not everyone has to do the same type of exercise, but you do need to be physically fit. And we do know that having an appropriate amount of muscle mass on our body is key to our longevity, and I would just say point blank, our survival rate. Muscle does protect our body. It's a cushion for our body. It helps us metabolize better. It makes us capable of physically showing up in our life and doing basic everyday tasks so we don't have to wait on someone else. It will help us get ourselves up off the ground if we fall down. We do not want to be those women who can't get up. So I want you to think about some things that you can do in your everyday life to ensure you will have the most optimal outcome for your future. So I'll share some things that I'm doing in my everyday life. And these are things that I have been in and out of my adult life. So I am not the perfect example of an exerciser or a fitness coach. I am in and out of exercise depending on the season of life that I'm in, but I'm always doing something. So I have been an avid runner since I was in high school. I absolutely love running, and I understand not everybody does. So find the exercise that will benefit you cardiovascular health wise that you also enjoy. So that could be walking, that could be swimming, that could be biking, that could be whatever, skiing, whatever it is you do. That gives you an opportunity to work your heart muscle to a point that you are cardiovascularly fit. Again, Google this stuff. Figure out what it is for you at your age or season of life that you need to be at fitness wise, heart rate recovery wise, so that you can have the most optimal opportunity for the best outcome for you. The beautiful thing about today's world is the information is available out there. I want you to do the research and I want you to stop watching endless YouTube videos. If you're just watching people telling you what to do, the probability of you putting that into action is slim to none. And so I'm going to encourage you to Google some information or pick up a book and do some research and create a plan for yourself. If you create a plan for yourself, you are more likely to execute the plan than if you're just sitting around scrolling video after video after video. Your brain is going to think you're actually participating in some activity because you are inundating it with the conversation, but your body is not going to get the benefit of that. So please make sure you are Googling what type of cardiovascular exercise a woman of your age and what season of life you're in could do to improve your overall cardiovascular health. Now, the thing that I did, and I've talked about this before, was I got my VO2 max tested, and that's where I'm on a treadmill with a mask and they check my CO2 output against the effort that I am outputting on the treadmill. And they let me know what my VO2 max rate is. And that is an indication of how physically fit you are cardiovascularly. And there's all kinds of charts that you can use with that number. You can do a VO2 max test on Apple Watch. A Fitbit, I believe, does it. If you have a Garmin, you can do that as well. So there's lots of ways to get a general idea of where your cardiovascular fitness score falls. And I highly recommend putting in that effort so you just know where you're starting from and what you need to do to get to the place that might be an improvement for you. So let's get back to strength training. Now, you don't have to spend hours in a bodybuilding gym and you don't have to, become a CrossFitter or do anything that's too extreme, but you do have to be able to lift some heavy things to be able to take care of yourself. So if you have some things around your house that you can lift on a regular basis, I highly recommend starting there. Maybe it's moving around some potting soil or carrying around some kitty litter bags or dog food bags. Really try to use what you have available to you and practice carrying some things, picking them up, throwing them over your shoulder. Maybe you can hold them and do some squats, like whatever you can to just incorporate very easily accessible things around your home. If you do have a gym membership, I highly recommend talking to someone at your gym about doing some strength training classes. There's lots of strength training classes I know that are designed specifically for women, or maybe working with a personal trainer to just show you around the gym so you're not feeling intimidated, and then get on a regular routine with some strength training as well. I think it's recommended 2 to 3 days a week, and you want to lift heavy things. So again, I listened to a podcast from Dr. Peter Attia, and he explained lifting weights in 3 different variations. If you want to build mass on your body, so muscular mass, he recommended lifting heavy weights to about 6 reps. And pretty much that's all you had to do. So when you got to that 6th rep, if you failed, then you pretty much maxed out that opportunity. If you are looking to improve overall strength, then what you want to do is find a weight that you can lift to about 8 to 12 reps, with those last 2 reps being a challenge for you. And of course, you do that about 3 times. And then the third reason or way that we can, incorporate some weight training into our life is muscular endurance. And that's where you take a lighter weight and you lift it more than 12 times. So I want you to think about what it is you want for yourself and what it is you want for your life and what your capabilities in your everyday life are. For me, it's strength. And so I do incorporate that second component of strength training in my routine where I do really try to lift as heavy as I can, 10 to 12 reps with whatever muscle group and what exercise that I am doing. I see a lot of women lifting weights in more of the muscular endurance type of format. I think they might be scared to get bulky or scared to lift something heavy. I don't know. But muscular endurance isn't going to do us a whole lot of good if we in fact need strength. And so I want you to think about how it is you're executing your strength training at the gym. And are you doing it in a way that's going to help you get to the end goal? And that's living a really great marginal decade, or how it is you see your future self and what she's capable of doing. There's two things that I'm always making sure that I'm capable of doing no matter what, and that is push-ups and planks. And those are things that everyone can do. So if you're not sure where to start, see how many push-ups you can get. Push-ups on your knees are totally fine. See how many push-ups you can execute on your own. Because if we fall down and we want to be able to get back up, pushing your body off the ground is an absolutely necessary skill that you have to have. One of the things I recommend for a lot of the women that I coach is to practice getting up and off the ground at least 10 times a day. So you're sitting in front of the TV, get off the couch, get on the floor, get down in a prone position, push yourself up to standing, get down in a prone position, push yourself up to standing. Practice the activity of getting yourself up off the floor. And the same thing for a plank. You're going to build that upper body strength. You're going to build that core strength. You're going to protect your back. And it's just those two core things that if we're capable of doing those things, then we're pretty much on the right track. So what I want you to leave today's video with is some confidence and some thoughts about what you should be doing to make sure that last decade of your life is a decade that you're able to participate in. We're doing so many things to improve our internal health, especially if you're practicing something like intermittent fasting, or you've done some things to improve your nutritional life, or you're doing some work on your cellular healing, whatever it is. We don't want to end up frail old ladies who are pushed up to a window in their wheelchair with an Afghan over their lap because they physically cannot take care of themselves. We want the whole picture, right? We want to be mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, and physically healthy. And we have to make sure that we're not neglecting any one of those aspects of how it is we want to age successfully. So I'm leaving you with some homework today. I want you to get on your phone or get on your computer and just type in some questions. What should a 59-year-old postmenopausal woman be doing to keep her body strong and healthy? What should I be able to do cardiovascularly to ensure my heart health and cardiovascular health is where it should be? Get some ideas. If you do the work yourself and you stop scrolling on the internet, I promise you, you will put some things into action, and action is where you're going to get the results. It's not about how skinny you are. It's not about what size jeans you wear. It's how healthy you are and how capable you are of showing up every single day to execute your life. If you have something that you're doing in your fitness arena that you would love to share with us, please leave it in the comment section below. Even if it's someone that you take maybe some exercise classes with from here on YouTube, share their link. I love being able to share that kind of information with our community. So again, if you found someone that you love or something that you love doing, leave it in the comment section below. You know me, I'm a fan of running. So if you need any help with running or getting started with running, just leave me a message. I will do my best to help you get started. And then again, we also need to make sure we are keeping our body strong and fit as well, because we want to make sure that we can physically move our body and keep it healthy and safe. Thanks so much for watching today's YouTube video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am here for you. If you are interested in jumping into any of our courses, maybe specifically our intermittent fasting for today's aging woman course, because that's where all the magic starts. I will leave the information about how to get more information about signing up here in a link, as well in the description box below.